On today's video, I am taking you to an incredible culinary tour in Europe. I'm gonna be eating some of the iconic things, because whenever I travel, the first thing I do is look out for some good restaurants. Most of the time, like everyone else, I trust Google reviews. And on this video, we're gonna see if those reviews are actually true or not. Hopefully, none of them are gonna be a tourist trap, and I definitely don't wanna get ripped off. Because on my Europe trip, I ate everything from small little snacks to iconic desserts, everyday dishes that the locals eat, and of course, I was not gonna miss out on some steaks. Hopefully, they're gonna be good. And even though everything is done quite differently, you might be as surprised as I was with some Google reviews.
Wow, 10 out of 10.
As this was an experience of a lifetime, and on this trip, I learned more than any other. You probably heard of this, as it's called Nazaré.
That's where they have the biggest waves in the world, everybody. Where only professional surfers surf, you know what I'm talking about? You know, after looking at this, I can confirm, how don't you your pants when you're taking those big waves? My head's off to the surfers, man. I don't have the balls.
It is said that this statue is the one that keeps the surfer safe. Because like I said, it takes a lot of guts to do this stuff. But right about now, I was quite hungry. And Portugal is known for a lot of food. But there's one that does not come to most people's mind whenever they think about food.
You gotta have some sardines. And might not be your number one choice whenever you're thinking about food. Sardines sound kind of weird, but you gotta have it whenever you're in Portugal. But take a look at this view. This is sick.
This place is beautiful, and the most impressive part is the cliff. And I wanted to eat right next to it, so I can enjoy this wonderful view. So when I searched Google, I went with best restaurant with a view in Nazaré. And the first one didn't have a good view, but the third one was on another level. And I knew that this one was going to be my choice. Portugal is known for their seafood, and with pictures like this, I had to go ahead and order some. But obviously, the first thing that always arrives are appetizers.
What is funny is that they put a lot of things on your table, something like this, like a platter, and you assume that you would be free, right? No, they just put it on your table, even if you don't order it, and then whatever you eat, you pay for. What you don't eat, you don't pay.
This platter came with a lot of different things, including fully cooked shrimp, which is cold. They also have different types of cheeses, and of course, bread.
Try some natural cheese with bread, just like that. The view is on a whole nother level. It's pretty epic, not gonna lie. Very mild flavor of this cheese. Since it's fresh cheese, it's not very powerful. Good appetizer.
That was okay, but not one of the reasons why I was there. I needed some seafood. And here's what I ordered first.
Shrimp frito. So these are fried shrimp. Now, Portugal is very well known for their seafood. I mean, take a look at this. So they give you on a hot plate like this. Looks beautiful, looks delicious. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Oh, that's good, man. Nice and fresh, very garlicky, very oily. Am I the only weirdo that sucks the head? I love sucking the head. Is that weird? Oh, that does sound bad. Of the shrimp, sucking the head of the shrimp is really nice. Very mild flavor.
The shrimps were fully cooked in butter, making it delicious, mild, and with a lemony flavor. That was fantastic. Next up, one of the most iconic dishes in Portugal, and it is called arroz de marisco. It's so wet that it seems like a soup, but I'll call this a combination between a soup and risotto. It is tomato based, and inside there's several different types of seafood, including octopus, clams, and several others. And even if you're not into seafood, it's something you should definitely try when there. I really had high hopes for this one.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. The octopus is so tender. Seems like it was cooked for hours, stewed for hours. That is amazing, everybody. It's like a tomato-based risotto. Oh, wow. That is a 10 out of 10, or maybe a 20 out of 10. Wow. Basically a tomatoey-based sauce. I just went to heaven. I can eat just the octopus, honestly. That is delicious. Grab a little piece of the bread, just soak it in there. Wow, why is this so good?
In all honesty, this was a 10 out of 10. Very delicious, and I hit the jackpot. But like I said a little bit earlier, if you are in Portugal, you gotta try this. Now I'll be honest with you, it's not the most appetizing thing for many people, but sardines is quite healthy for you. And to eat it, this is how I normally do it. After removing the head, I go ahead and open it up, remove as much bones as I can. Even though you can eat it, I just don't like the texture. And then it was time to give it a go.
So I know for a lot of people might not look appetizing, everybody, because you're not used to eating sardines, but sardines are great. Oh man, oh that's delicious. Salty, flavorful, charcoal flavor. It was cooked on charcoal. Oh my God, I love the skin. That is on a whole nother level. But I know a lot of people won't enjoy it. I know a lot of people won't enjoy it. Might be intimidating, especially if you look at the eye. But it's good.
I think the highlight here was that it was cooked on charcoal. That wonderful flavor of the kiss of the dragon always gets me. Talking about that, what came up next was 100% cooked on charcoal as well. And this was on a whole nother level.
So we got a big skewer over here of seafood, everybody. Wow, nicely charred. It smells incredible, everybody. We gotta go to work. We got squid, we got shrimp, we got vegetables. Try the shrimp. Everything's grilled better. Oh my God, that is so good. I think that's chorizo. Oh yeah, oh that's chorizo, all right. Oh, that's so good. The squid is tough. Oh, it's so good. Oh, that's stupid good. The squid is chewy. It's super smoky and flavorful. I love seafood. That was a great lunch.
It was a great restaurant, especially if you consider the view. After everything I tried, Arroz de Marisco was my #1 choice. And the bill was reasonably priced. And whenever you are in Nazaré, you must have some seafood. Because next we wanted to do some sightseeing. And we went to check out Sintra. And I spent the rest of the day digesting and sightseeing.
So right now we are in Óbidos, Portugal, and there's one special thing that you must try whenever you're in Óbidos because it's actually from here. It's called ginginha. It is basically a cherry liquor that you drink it from a chocolate cup. You have to have it. It's a must. This is Guga's morning face.
Ginginha is a sweet cherry liquor, and Óbidos is known for it. But the most interesting thing for me is the way they serve it in a chocolate cup for you. And when you're there, it's a must-have. And I got addicted to it.
Alcohol in the morning.
Just to wake you up right away.
Perfect, right?
There's no really certain times to drink ginginha. Esto no lo había dado. Esto no sabe.
Oh man. Oh, you're gonna like this one. Oh, I love the cup too.
Good?
Strong.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot.
12 seconds later.
Saúde.
Saúde, saúde.
Ah, pois não é ela que eu estou a tirar.
Oh, it's very good.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Ooh, fortune. Tell you right now. That's strong, good, delicious, sweet, nice liquor, and it's perfect way to wake up in the morning, everybody. All the way up there, they have a little castle, which is pretty cool. Enough about the bell.
Next up, maybe one of the most beautiful cities in Portugal. It's called Porto. And if you ever had port wine, this is where it comes from. This city is breathtaking. It's one of those cities that you can just sit down, watch it for a very long time. Talking about that, there's one specific food that I really wanted to try. And the way you cook it, it's quite fascinating. And instead of using gas or charcoal, they use liquor. To be specific, aguardiente.
Holy sh**. That's a moonshine, strong, powerful, 99% alcohol proof. So yeah, everybody, they just put aguardiente on the bottom, which is like a very strong liquor. There's no more. They need some more aguardiente over here. Yeah, they're being real cheap with the aguardiente, everybody. But apparently you gotta cook it all the way through because it's raw, but it's burning all the alcohol off. I thought it was something else that they were putting in here and not really aguardiente, but oh, I think he's bringing more. I'm running out of aguardiente. Ah, now it's on, okay. Now we're gonna cook that sausage. Now we're cooking. Oh yeah. There you go. I'm gonna do something crazy. Oh, there you go. Looks ready to eat. All right, I'm ready for the sausage. Hopefully it'll be cooked all the way through. There you go. Looks nice.
Yep, this is a Portuguese sausage, quite fatty, and I was recommended to eat it with this, brie, which is a soft cheese that once it heats up, it almost becomes like a cream. I was excited because this is the perfect street food.
That's a good sausage. Oh yeah, smoky.
That sausage was delicious, and the experience of cooking at tableside is just fantastic. I even bought one of those containers to make a side dish for you guys later on my main channel, Google Foods. Stay tuned for that, because my next stop was one of the most iconic of them all, and that would be Porto's train station. If you ever seen any YouTube videos, they always talk about it. Every single tile is hand-painted. That was definitely a sight to see. But let's be real, it's a train station. We're not catching the train right now, because all that walking got me real hungry. So the next up, the most iconic thing you can have in Portugal, their biggest sandwich. Everyone talks about it. I had to experience it myself, and it is called francesinha. So after checking out Google, check out this restaurant with over 14,000 reviews, and each picture looked better than the other. This restaurant, you definitely need reservation. So I made mine, and it was time to see how good this sandwich actually is.
So this plate right here was in the oven, everybody. It is extremely hot, and as you can see, they definitely put the egg on a mold, which is nice. And then we have the francesinha sandwich on the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and attack this without breaking the yolk. That is the famous francesinha sandwich. Got a steak with that wonderful sauce on there. So I think it's important to do a good soak there. It needs to be nice and wet.
It is a sandwich that has a lot of protein. Meat, cheese, steak, sausage, and egg. Come on now. How can you go wrong with that? But does it taste as good as it looks?
Oh wow. It's all about that sauce. The sauce tastes quite like beer. Beer and tomato sauce for sure. We can immediately feel that. Imagine a delicious grilled cheese sandwich with tomato soup. That's exactly what this is, and obviously an egg.
If you are interested in learning how to make this sauce, you definitely want to check out my main channel, Google Foods. I show you exactly how to do it step by step. It is delicious, everybody, and even though it's beer-based, it tastes more like a wonderful, delicious tomato soup. And when you combine it with the francesinha, it's some next-level stuff.
That is a francesinha, everybody. It is a hefty sandwich. That's why most people that order this here, they actually share it, because one sandwich is too much for most people and not for me. That will fill you up for sure. I ate the whole thing and I wasn't even hungry. I guess it's good. So total was 27 bucks. This sandwich actually cost 13 euros and 80 cents. For that price too, is not bad. Not bad at all. If you ever had a grilled cheese sandwich with tomato sauce and think about putting a steak and sausage and a lot of cheese on top of it and an egg, then you might have a feeling of what a francesinha tastes like, everybody.
I am definitely downplaying this sandwich. There's a reason why it's so iconic in Portugal. When there, you must have it. And I gotta be honest with you, this place did live up to the hype. But as I'm walking on the streets, I notice a pattern.
So I want you guys to notice one thing. They put bread on the table even before you sit down, everybody, on this restaurant right here. That is kind of weird. You want to eat fresh bread. You know what I mean? Not stale bread. They do things quite different here in Portugal, everybody.
Remember, just because it's on the table, it does not mean that it is free. If you take a bite of anything on the table, they'll charge you later on. And another thing they do it differently here is their chicken. And I had to try the best of the best.
The best places are always on a small little alley, everybody.
Yep, 100%. This location is called Pedro dos Frangos. And funny enough, when I googled it, it said temporarily closed. Luckily, I didn't believe it, as it is very, very open.
Duas pessoas, por favor. One more floor up. Get your exercise before you eat. I'm gonna order a frango assado no espeto com batata frita, everybody. Doesn't get any better than that. Nice and simple, traditional food, and of course with piri piri sauce.
If you are unfamiliar with the sauce, let me explain. It is quite spicy, but it has a tremendous amount of umami flavor. And that's because the way it is made. By far one of the greatest sauces I ever had. And if you want to know how to make it, you should definitely check out my main channel later on, Guga Foods. I dedicated an entire video for it. It is one of the greatest sauces ever.
Ooh. Tudo pra mim. Obrigado, viu? Wow. We got the piri piri chicken, also known as frango assado, everybody. Piri piri means just the sauce right here. But I gotta say, this chicken looks incredible. A nice golden brown color, which is what you want. Nothing is burned. The French fries, let me see. Oh man, homemade French fries.
So yeah, those French fries were good, but it was not the reason why I was there. Remember, when you search up best grilled chicken in Porto, this is number 1. So let's find out.
Nice tender meat with the skin on, and then we're gonna attack it with the piri piri sauce. Oh, that's gonna be a nice, beautiful bite right there. When you taste good food, you know it's good, everybody. This chicken is extremely tender, juicy, flavorful. The spiciness of that piri piri sauce is just wonderful. Wow. And this chicken, there's nothing special. It's just on the rotisserie, nice and slow for a long time. You know, the piri piri sauce, very flavorful, has a lot of umami flavor. It is delicious. I promise you, everybody, this thing is damn good.
This restaurant with over 5,000 reviews is definitely a winner. For sure, it's Guga approved. But there was one other thing that I really wanted to try there, and it's called prego, which means nail, and I have no idea why. Consider an everyday meal for Portugal people. This is nutritious, delicious, and I can't wait to dig in. But I was going to be really honest with you guys on how this actually tastes, especially the steak.
It is not medium rare, which is fine, but it's quite juicy. Seasoned with only salt, you can feel the charcoal flavor. I mean, it's not a high-end cut, everybody, but there's nothing wrong with this steak, you know? And in Latin America, like Brazil as well, a lot of times they cook it more towards well done, and a lot of people prefer it that way. It's no problem at all. Not everyone in the world likes medium rare, unfortunately. I wish they did, but it's how most people would have their steak. Oh, this one here is a little bit, see why you would choose thicker steaks? It gives you more wiggle room. There's something missing about the steak, something very, very important.
You gotta add piri piri sauce to everything, my friends. You know that sauce that says I put that chakawawa on everything? That should be said for this one.
Now that just made it 10 times better, guarantee. Forget what I said. Medium rare is always better. I gotta be real. That sauce is addicting. Seriously.
Honestly, even though the steak was not medium rare, it was delicious, everybody. A perfect meal to get you food and quite nutritious. But if you ask me which one was better, the steak or the chicken, definitely go in for the chicken. That's what this restaurant is known for, and they definitely mastered the art of making grilled chicken. This one is definitely Guga approved.
Only 32 euros for a nice, delicious meal like this. What a gem. That was as good as chicken gets, everybody. Absolutely phenomenal. I highly recommend that spot. And everybody is so nice. And the piri piri sauce, oh, I'm in love.
When in Porto, don't forget to stop by that place. There's another thing you must try in Portugal as well, and that is called pastel de nata. However, the best ones are located in a different city, which is Lisban.
So that right there represents the 10 euro.
If you search up best pastel de nata in Lisbon, the first one that comes up is Pastéis de Belém. With over 80,000 reviews, it seems like you can't go wrong. And the pictures look phenomenal. But most importantly, this is the original place of Pastéis de Belém.
It's a sweet egg tart that you must have whenever you come here. See if it's good. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick pro tip I just learned, all right? You see right there, here's a line for takeout, okay? So most people just do that line. But if you wanna get quick service, there's another entrance right over here. It says table service. You guys go in here and the service is almost immediately, and you can just eat one or two, and you can also take it to go. It's much quicker than doing this line right here, right? This line is crazy. That's crazy.
When you get inside, it feels like I went back in time. But what impressed me the most is that this place is huge. Believe me when I tell you, you don't have to make any lines. There are plenty of seats for you in the back. And everyone wants one thing, this pastéis de nata.
Wow. Oh, that's good. Oh my God. That's very dangerous. I can eat 1,000 of those, everybody. That is dangerous. Wow.
If you've never had an egg tart, let me explain. Think about eating a crispy croissant, but in the inside, it's like creme brulee. When you combine both together, you have something similar to pastel de nata. At this location, it's not very sweet, which I like. But since this is the most iconic thing you can eat in Portugal, I had to also try somewhere else. But not until I had something classic from Brazil. This is coxinha, which is basically a chicken croquette. And in Brazil, we make this really good. I want to see how this one stacks up.
Now, this is an abomination. Look at this coxinha. Yeah. Brazil does it a lot better. There's no comparison, everybody. But the guarana is pretty good.
Even though coxinha is not their thing, when you're going there, you're going in for the pastéis de nata. And this thing was so delicious that I had to do something before I left.
You know what I did? Something you shouldn't do. I got a big box. So good.
So if you remember when I was searching on Google the best places to eat this, the other one with the most reviews was this one, Mantegaria. And with this many reviews, I had to also give it a try. This is a completely different experience. The place is way smaller, but what I like the most is that you're able to see how it's made. As I said before, everything starts off with the crust. They mold the pastry towards the edges, and this place is like a factory, rolling up a lot of doughs because they sell a lot. Then in the end, they fill it up with custard and put it in the oven. Now, even though these look very similar to the previous one, the taste was different.
Oh, it's sweet and the crust is incredible, everybody. Super crumbly crust. Oh, I like that. I like the crust a lot more than the custard. Reminds me of coconut, maybe a little bit of vanilla.
Now, if you ask me, Google, which one is better, the first one or the second one? Well,
you know, they say that the original is always better, and that seemed to be true. It's very, very good. Crust is better. It's super flaky, it's super delicious. Highly recommend. It's good.
If you are wondering how I got back to that place, it's because it was my morning routine. That's how good pastéis de nata is. There's also another thing that is quite iconic in Portugal, and that would be this, pastel de bacalhau. And when you search Google for the best bacalhau in Portugal, the one that comes up is a must-have. If you are unfamiliar with pastel de bacalhau, it is a codfish croquette. But the biggest differences between codfish and bacalhau is that bacalhau is dried in salt first. Then they make a croquette out of it, and usually has different fillings. This one came with a lot of cheese inside, and I couldn't wait to find out why it was so popular.
Wow, very flaky, very light batter. Not as good as I thought it was gonna be. I had much bigger high hopes.
Unfortunately, this one did not live up to the hype, especially because it was quite dry, the cheese seemed a little bit too funky for me, and it overpowered the fish croquette.
So yeah, that was not as good as I thought it was gonna be. What threw me off the most was the cheese, because the bacalhau would be great, but the cheese was very, not the best.
This did not live up to the hype. That was the last thing I tried in Lisban. I must say though, it is a beautiful city, but the pastel de nata definitely stand out. It turns out that most of the time Google will be right, but always be skeptical about reviews. Because the last thing you want when you go on a trip is to miss something incredible because you took so seriously one bad review. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. Let me know which country I should visit next, because I'm ready to eat more and test some more reviews. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.